if you want, and
Okay, yeah.
blah
Sure.
blah that. Especially, we're going to do the 20 questions with you, and you can ask me things if you. I mean, honestly, feel free to just make a fool of me.
No, I guess I wouldn't. How could I?
Yeah.
It's
You
pretty
can feel
easy.
free to like repeat any questions you've heard him say and give any questions that just come to mind or that you've prepared, whatever. Wherever the conversation is going, please follow your gut.
Please go there.
Yeah, I don't have a
Please.
list of questions, but this can evolve to whatever we want, really.
No, well,
Mhm.
no, good. I have my computer on top of my mom's old jewelry box. I was going, oh, what? Yeah, look at this. That's it.
Now that's pretty.
I have a piece that's somewhat similar to that from my great grandmother. The heart
Mother
is
gave me this.
etched with like some little twirly things,
Okay,
See
but
my
the chain
turtle?
is the same.
let's see your turtle. Oh, beautiful.
Is it turquoise?
My mother gave it to me. She's got dementia. She's 87, but this summer she was still clear, and she gave this to me. It was very, very sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
It's beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
It's always the trick in teching it's like the patience and the balance of hurry, 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 wait. It's like, okay, now we're ready. Oh, we have to wait for a moment. And it's just always a little it's like surfing or something, It's like, okay, when is the wave gonna arrive? I can't surf. I can't really swim, so I don't. I mean, when I think about surfing, when I used to ride the subway, when I stood on the subway, I would feel like I'm surfing.
I saw a guy catch a really great wave today out in the Hamptons, and it was really foggy, so he kept disappearing and then coming back. Like I could, see him. I couldn't see him, and then I could see him. Yeah, it was awesome actually. He rode that wave for a good solid minute. It was a nice one.
That sounds awful. When the few times I will swim, like Hawaii and Costa Rica, when I can see the water, and Chris, my husband, has to give me swimming lessons for about 30 minutes, and then he lies on the beach while I like do handstands and flips. And we were in Hawaii one time, and I was doing my handstand, and I just lost a lot of weight. So as I did my handstand, my trunks came down to my ankle. I was just standing, but I was proud, just the same.
Sure.
I was proud.
Really so.
I was proud of my handstand and my weight loss.
And weight loss, yeah.
I mean, so it's fascinating that surfing freaks you out to me because you have skydove. I mean, or skydived. I don't know, skydived.
Well, it has to do with the ability to swim, frankly.
Yeah.
And
that makes perfect sense.
And I didn't, I grew up in Oklahoma, so it's dirt.
I had, I grew
Dirt
up around a whole bunch
surfing.
of water, and with a dad who was a lifeguard, but I had ear problems from an infant to the time I was 6, which made going underwater traumatic and scary.
Mhm.
And still to this day, even in the shower, I take a breath before I put my head under the water, just because it's this weird, oh no, I'm going underwater. So
I surfed once.
standing on a train, or when I used to ride the Staten Island ferry, and I would stand on the ferry, because there's this if you're going to stand and do that and not hold on, then you kind of have to do this constant physical arithmetic almost, internally all these little muscles are just kind of checking in with each other and
Is
going
that the
back
trick?
and
I
forth.
didn't know that.
Or you're okay, I'm tall.
Last time I was on the Staten Island ferry, I was tap dancing.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricks for the Staten Island ferry, actually, especially at 3 or 4 in the morning. I lived on Staten Island.
I've only done it
a
once or twice. I've only done it.
I feel like there's a joke in there someplace. There's a lot of tricks on the Staten
So,
Island ferry.
Rob, how's the sound going?
So we're actually that we're trying a couple other things. Marie, do you happen to have a set of headphones handy? We could just rule that out, that it's something coming from one of your speakers.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Okay, thanks.
I just gotta get the attach. Where'd I put it? Okay, I put it back.
I feel like it's got to be on my end, but I don't.
No,
me,
I think
with technology, it's got to be me.
we're thinking it's very possible it's on the computer send side in Rome's place, but we're just trying to isolate every little thing.
Oh my God.
What did
My
you
father-in-law just brought me a steak.
Really? What a mensch.
Yeah, oh my God, it's huge too. And mashed cauliflower, which I love.
Wow.
Well, I've got to show you guys this.
And keto friendly.
Oh man,
Wow.
I'm
Marie's
very
missing
jealous.
out.
But
His
father-in-law just brought this
him
to me.
dinner.
oh, I'm so hungry too. Look at that.
Well, I'm going to
Keto
eat right in front of you.
Oh, please do.
I only ate breakfast today. It was so stupid. I slept 3
3
hours and only ate breakfast. And
That's so.
then worked all day.
That is
You know, I will say today has been a wacky day in a lot of ways. Pat and I
Amazing.
were talking multiple times about
What's a glass of
Mercury
wine?
being retrograde.
Is that true? That's not really true, though, is it?
It is retrograde right now. It's actually turning.
I know,
direct
but
on the
it's
day
not really retrograde. It's just how it appears in the orbit.
Well, that's what the term retrograde means. The term retrograde is a name for a phenomenon that happens in planetary, movements, and because of the way our relationships are all interdependent.
But isn't it only
looks
visual?
like it's moving. It looks like it's moving in the
But
past,
it's not.
backwards.
But it's
But-
not.
But at the same time, then there is a question of exactly how does that magnetism affect us or not? And there is a.
Well, why would it if it's not happening? If it's only visual?
Well, there is. I mean, if you want to, this is a really nerdy question to go into that I really would be excited to go into for a long time. But there is some physics. There is some very strong physics these days, and philosophically interrelated, that say that actually the movement of electrons is very dependent on being viewed and on being observed, and that observing a molecule in motion actually affects the path of the electron, the path of atoms moving, which
so
is
you're
kind
saying
of crazy.
that if you look at Mercury, and it appears to you on Earth that it's in retrograde, it changes its atoms.
Well, I'm not sure that I'm saying that exactly, but I'm saying perhaps that by observing these relationships, there is some effect.
He's now
And
pouring me a
bringing
glass
you
of wine.
What a man.
Yes.
I feel like we should say that this show is co-produced by your father-in-law.
Oh, it is. He set everything up.
It's also co-produced by Sonoma County, California.
Yes. It may be France, though. I'm not sure.
We'll
Okay.
definitely include him in our next credit thank yous. Most definitely.
And his house looks a hell of a lot better than mine does. This is amazing.
The thing about the electrons is that they can do this test where they fire an electron and it's supposed to go directly forward, and they have a sheet and they can measure where it goes through. But the thing is that when it's not being observed, it goes through everywhere. Actually, the one electron doesn't go through in one point, but then when it's being observed, it has the one spot. It materials up.
I just don't understand how observation changes it.
It actually is scientifically still a mystery.
That's like saying, well, I suppose we do affect each other if we observe each other, but that means that's because we're aware that we're being watched. So is Mercury then aware that we're watching it?
That is a question. I mean, I definitely do not have the answer as to why when Mercury is in retrograde, things tend to explode in my life, but it is true. There were several really random, bizarre, Like I got a ticket today, even though I was parked in a perfectly normal, perfectly appropriate spot and had everything paid. You know, so I'm gonna have to go contest it. It's a small thing, but it's like an
I have
annoying.
never. I know a lot of people do. I've never experienced Mercury in retrograde.
There's my headphones. Could you guys hear me? No.
I can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if that changes in the sound or anything, but
You still
That's-
sound clear to me.
okay.
And astrology as a whole is a whole thing. You know, it's like, I mean, I read tarot cards myself, so there's just a
Oh, I love
number
tarot.
of.
I've only
Yeah.
done tarot a couple of times and I loved it.
Love it.
love tarot a lot.
Did
It's
it in
like a great way of
Victoria,
connecting to
actually.
myself.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
Oh,
a bunch
wow.
of us
That's
from
it.
Missing went to tarot and.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Mm. Hmm.
Marion said she's watching tonight.
Oh, is that right?
Hmm.
Oh, I haven't seen her for a while. Man, you haven't seen that many people for a while, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, huh. Is she in Toronto or did she go back home to Victoria?
I'm not even sure, honestly.
Okay.
I mean,